I'm now here for my Richardson Hitchins versus George Kambosos full card review and recap. I'm going to be breaking down all the fights on the main card. Let's get right into it now then, starting with Terramona Jr. defeating Whitfield in the first round via stoppage. This was easy for Terramona Jr. to be completely honest with you. Give him someone good. That's what we need to see now, if we're being real. He's just wiping all of these guys out of there in one round. Just give him someone good now. Give him someone who's actually going to give him competition. It's like 5 first-round knockout wins in a row now for Terramona Jr. Give him someone good. If we're being completely honest, that's what we need to see now. I feel like it's just getting a bit repetitive, just seeing him in there with these tin cans who he's just knocking out easily. I mean, I don't get why they're not up in their level with Terramona Jr. now, to be real. It was obviously he was going to wipe this guy out of there. He's good. He's explosive. He puts his shots together well. He probably will get found out as he moves up the rankings, though, if we're being completely honest, Terramona Jr. That's why Eddie Hearn's taking it nice and slow with him and sticking him in with the guys that he's sticking him in there with. But look, either way, Terramona Jr. won in the first round today, done what he should have done. He's just good at backing you up in that corner or up against the ropes and beating you down, and that's what he did to Whitfield today. Got him in that corner, exploded right onto him and finished him off easily, to be real. And Whitfield just wasn't able to take the power of Terramona Jr. He's got good power in his hands, Terramona, and, if you've got the power at heavyweight, then you are going to be dangerous and you are going to cause problems. Skill for skill, I'm not fully sold on Terramona, if I'm being real. But yeah, he's got power. He's explosive. I feel like he's good at cutting the ring off, as it showed today. He's good at backing you up. He's a heavy guy, uses his weight well, and uses his size well over the guys who, he's a very tall. He's very, very, very tall. To be completely honest, he's a very tall guy. And again, if you're a heavyweight and you're able to use these attributes, which Terramona is able to, then it's very useful. But let's wait and see what happens with him now, though. Anyway, next up, we then go to Zaquin Moses defeating Carl Rogers. Zaquin Moses with another stoppage win, got the stoppage win in the 4th round. Good performance from Zaquin Moses. He's just very calm and composed when picking his moments and picking his shots, to be real. He's very good behind his jab. Carl Rogers wasn't really offering too much in the fight, though, if we're being real. There wasn't really anything that he was offering. Zaquin Moses was just able to take that front foot well, dominate behind the jab, get his shots coming well behind his lead hand. And Carl Rogers just had to tuck up, wasn't really able to do anything. I feel like the volume of Zaquin Moses is good. And I feel like Eddie Hearn's building him up well. I feel like Zaquin Moses is very clearly going to be a star in America at some point. I think that's clear to see. But he doesn't rush his work, Zaquin Moses. I feel like a lot of prospects right now rush their work, but Zaquin Moses is one of those guys who doesn't. He's very good at staying composed, picking his shots well. Talking about you for a bit, he knows how important it is to get rounds in as well, but then also to make a statement at that exact same time. And I feel like that's what happened tonight, getting a stoppage in that 4th round. Got rounds in, didn't take any damage at all, defended himself well, and it was a good performance offensively where he's going to be setting these statements. And again, that kind of performance is we can probably see him out again in August or early September time, I feel like, for Zaquin Moses now. So, we could see him another 2 times this year. I feel like that's what we need for Zaquin Moses, but that's a good win for him. I feel like, Carl Rogers was his best opponent, and I feel like that was seen tonight by his durability in there and the way at times it did take Moses a bit of time to fully figure him out, but overall, it was easy for Zaquin Moses, but he took his time to figure him out, and he looked good tonight to Quinn Moses, like he had to. So yeah, all good stuff there for the Quinn Moses. Then we go on to Andy Cruz defeating Mashiro. I bloody said this would go the distance, and I thought Mashiro could take 1 or 2 rounds off of Andy Cruz, but this wasn't competitive at all. Andy Cruz brutally beat him down and showed his class, showed his levels, to be completely honest with you. I mean, yeah, Mashiro didn't offer anything. It turned out to be a complete and utter mismatch, if I'm being real. Yeah, Andy Cruz completely embarrassed Mashiro. I think, Andy Cruz looked good behind his jab tonight. I think he was doubling up the jab well, was good with that straight backhand. I think for Mashiro, he was just in defensive mode from the off, though. He was just in defensive mode from the off. And, I was doubting Andy Cruz's power in the build up to the fight. And yeah, look, I still stick by what I said. He's not got one punch knockout power, but it's just the volume which Mashiro just hated tonight from Andy Cruz, and just the general skill of Andy Cruz that Mashiro just hated. And when you're something like Andy Cruz, who's improving every single fight, though, who's doubling up on his work, who's getting better and better and better, and getting more comfortable in there in these pro ranks. He looked good tonight, and in my opinion, career best performance for Randy Cruz tonight. I thought Mashiro would be his best opponent so far, and arguably, possibly was on paper for him. But Andy Cruz made easy work out of that, dropping Mashiro twice in the 3rd round, then beating him down throughout in the 4th, then stopping him in the 5th. I think, it was an impressive performance from Andy Cruz tonight. To be completely honest, I'm happy with how he performed. I feel like he looked good, and again, he's showing to be someone with real potential, and he is a future world champ. And he has got a very good, entertaining Cuban style. To be completely honest, he's quite different to a lot of these Cuban guys as well, to be honest with you. But he's very entertaining with what he's doing. To be completely honest with you, he's very entertaining at this moment in time. He's always usually in a good fight, and he is always able to entertain, and that's what we saw tonight. And he put a beat down on Mashiro, and that certainly is something that I wasn't really expecting at all, for it to be that easy. But it's him showing his worth, it's him showing his potential, and that's something that we needed to see from him. As I said, on paper, Mashiro was his toughest test, but Andy Cruz made it look easy. So that's why I think that was probably Andy Cruz's career best performance so far. Very impressive stuff. Then we go to our main event with Richardson Hitchins stopping George Kambosos Jr. He absolutely cooked him and fried him easily. He buried George Kambosos. No more title shots for George Kambosos Jr. Thank God for that, because he was being handed title shot after title shot after title shot. He didn't deserve to be in there with Hitchins tonight, and Richardson Hitchins bloody completely proved that easily, that George Kambosos didn't belong in there with him at all. He doesn't belong at this level. God knows how George Kambosos even got past Teofimo Lopez. I would never understand, but yeah, look, a good performance from Hitchins tonight. Was very good with that jab upstairs, but it was just the body. He really just looked into that Lomachenko fight, Richardson Hitchins, and just dominated Kambosos to the body. And George Kambosos just never learns. He didn't beat. He got beat down and outboxed by Devin Haney. Well, he didn't get beat down by Haney. Haney doesn't beat down anyone. But Haney basically outboxed him 2 times in a row, and you could have played that first fight on repeat in the second fight. Exactly the same fight. Kambosos doesn't change anything. He's just incompetent. That's the word I was looking for in my other video. And then, you've got the Lomachenko fight where he got brutally beat down to the body and outboxed easily. And then tonight, he gets beat down to the body and outboxed easily. He doesn't learn. He just stands in front of them and just gets picked off. As Teofimo Lopez said at ringside, Kambosos needed to move his head, and he just doesn't do that. He's just way too static for these guys like Hitchins. And that show tonight, he was so static. But is it really impressive for Richardson and Hitchins defeating Kambosos in his first title defense? I don't know, because there's already a blueprint out there on how to beat Kambosos. But, I thought Hitchins planted his feet well tonight and showed his power in that backhand. And I did say that in the build-up as well, that he would drop Kambosos, and does plant his feet well. And he did plant his feet well in those exchanges tonight, Richardson, Hitchins. And I feel like he looked very good. He looked like someone who was always in control. He looks like someone with good power in his hands, and he looks like someone who's very good behind the jab and knows how to box very well. And that's what he showed tonight. Kambosos was a move and punching bag for him. Anyway, that's what I thought on the fight. That's what I thought on the card. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Speak to you on the next one.